Although Curtea de Argeş was founded more than 700 years ago by Radu Negru as the oldest Romanian town, archaeological finds prove that it was already inhabited in the Iron Age. The town museum documents the development of the former state of Wallachia up to the present day. The legendary duke from the area of Fogaraj is said to have crossed the Carpathians with some colonists, defeated the Tatars, and also founded Curtea de Argeş. On a hill, the last remains of the walls of the old principal court can still be seen, which were only uncovered in 1920. Only the first Prince Church in the style of the 16th century Byzantine Metropolitan Church has survived all the turmoil of time. Surrounded by the foundation walls of the first royal court. Prince Constantine Brâncoveanu had the church restored after the Ottoman attacks. The Orthodox Church, dedicated to St. Nicholas at the former royal court, is the only religious monument from the 14th century that has been preserved in Wallachia. The iconostasis and all the murals of the church belong to the Paleological style and are mostly from the time of Laiku Voda. These frescoes also had a great influence on the art in later churches. The town with the scattered buildings is situated in a charming natural environment between hills and vast meadows and forests at the foot of the Carpathians. To the north of the medieval town, there's a lush park whose trees almost form a forest. Hidden here stands one of the country's most important architectural monuments in terms of art history. The famous Bishop's or Monastery Church, built over a cloverleaf-shaped ground plan with 4 different-sized domes. An impressive complete work of twisted towers, arabesques and ornamental bands which cover the facades with geometric and floral motifs and delicately enclose them. This exceptional craftsmanship and precision of the stone carvings and relief jewellery reveal a Caucasian influence. The church dedicated to Our Lady was opened on the 15th of August 1517. The overwhelming interior fascinates the visitors. An incomparable splendour in shades of gold, green and blue, and 12 columns support the large dome. The double function of cult room and burial place is also easily recognizable during the visit. Not only the Patriarch of Constantinople was present at the consecration of the church, but also the abbots of the great Athos monasteries. It was faith that made all this art possible. The precious paintings and the finely crafted and preciously painted ornamental jewellery. All the sacred splendour is due to the thorough restoration by the French architect André Lecomte de Nouilly, who also uncovered interior paintings from the construction period in 1875. Wallachian princes are buried here, as well as King Carol I and Elisabeth, and Ferdinand and Maria. At the exit of the cathedral, one is greeted by the first royal family. A legend tells that the founder of the monastery entrusted the construction of the holy building to Master Manole, who sacrificed his life and that of his wife. In order to complete the work, he immured his wife in the foundation wall according to an old custom. And finally, he himself jumped to his death from the roof. At the point where he landed, a spring is said to have risen, which was enclosed in the white Manole fountain next to the church. It is meant to remind us of the great master who was treated so shamefully by Prince Nagoya Bazarab. In 1886, under King Carol I, the construction of the royal palace on the east side of the monastery complex was started. This building was the summer residence of the royal family and later became the Episcopal Palace in the middle of the extensive park. In 2009, the construction of a new cathedral was started, into which the tombs of the members of the Romanian royal family and the relics of Saint Philoftia were included. The building was designed by Professor Augustin Ionan, together with young architects and students of the University of Architecture and Urban Planning in Bucharest. A necropolis where the architecture of the old royal church remained preserved. A place of peace and contemplation in the former capital of Wallachia. Curtea de Argeş is a national treasure and a strong symbol for the continuity of the Romanian people who venerate their history.